This is BMAT 2016, Section 1, Question 29. When you read this question, you should be thinking of drawing a diagram. The reason for this is because it's about folding a piece of string many times, and that can be quite difficult to imagine in your head. So conceptually, a diagram is always the best way to go forwards. So this is what I've done. I've drawn a length of string and marked red in the middle, as was indicated in the question. I've then, in the next picture, drawn what it looks like folded over here. So what I've done is I've said that this end here is folded all the way around to here, which will leave the red part here, and then we mark green in the middle, as was indicated in the question. Similarly, we then fold this over, so this red end gets folded over to here, which will leave this red here, the green still here, and then we mark blue in the middle. And then finally we fold it one more time in the same manner to make this diagram here. The question is then asking, when we unfold it, really, what does it look like? And this can be quite difficult to imagine in your head, and it can also be quite difficult to infer from this diagram. This is just a helpful understanding of the question. So what I think is then the best approach would be to say, well, let's let this thing have length 1, then this has length a half, this has length a quarter, and this final thing down here has length 1/8. And I'm going to mark that on a fresh piece of string down here. So there's my half point, here are my quarters, and just marking in my eighths here. And then it becomes more straightforward. When we fold it in half, the first section, we have a red here. When we fold it in half, we're left with each half, and in the middle of each half, we have a green. So in the middle of each half, so this here is one half, we have a green. So there's a green here and a green here. Then when we fold it again, we've got quarters, and in the middle of each quarter, we've put a blue. So therefore, we're going to mark a blue here, a blue here, a blue here, and a blue here. And finally, in the middle of each eighth, we've got a purple splodge. So we put a purple here, a purple here, 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 all in the same manner as before. And then simply, we have to count how many are between the green points as the question asks. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and therefore the answer to this question is 7. I would like to note something. You may not necessarily have different coloured pens in the exam like I've used to explain this video. So you might have to think of a different system. But this isn't too bad. What you could do instead is, again, we're going to draw out our line. And for the red, we're just going to do a really big mark. Then for the greens, we're just going to make it a bit smaller. And for the blues, we're going to make it smaller still. And then for the purples, we're going to make it as small as we can, and this way you can distinguish between the points, and that is a fast way to do it.